I saw earlier that we went up onto one of the radio towers. What purpose do those serve? Like, why did we do that?
So whenever you get to a new area of the world, so you can see now we're gonna look at the world map. Whenever you get to a new area in the world, you'll actually you won't have any map information. Like the map will be completely fogged. We call it the fog of war. And in order to get the map information, you have to find the nearest tower and climb to the top, and then deactivate the scrambler, and that unlocks all of the map information. So you can see where the roads are, you can see where the plant and the collectibles are. You can also buy treasure maps from the stores. So if you go to a village, you can figure out where all of the collectibles and all of the best loot if you have enough money. The maps are pretty expensive because they're very, very useful.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, do the maps that you buy in the stores that doesn't unlock any areas? It just shows you where stuff is in the areas you've already unlocked.
Yeah, it just adds more to the map that you already have.
Someone from the chat had a question about animals, and I think I kind of know the answer to this. But is there a way to track animals? Like, how do you know where these different animals are? For, say, if you have to make I don't know, a new gun holster or something, and it needs a specific type of skin. How in the world do I know where to go for that animal?
So, like for anything, everyone's best friend to figure out anything is just to open up the map. The map has all of the information you need, which is why the radio towers are so important. So when you've unlocked the map, you can look, and you'll actually see icons for animals, and these represent the different animals' habitats. So we researched different kinds of animals and looked at the different places they would exist naturally. And we populated the world with these areas. It isn't a guarantee, because sometimes they won't be in those areas. It's just kind of a rough guide to where they might be. So you might have to come back at a different time of day and check out to see if the animals are going to be there or not. And we actually also have a potion, which is pretty cool. If you collect the right kind of plants and make there's a certain potion that lets you kind of detect animals, and you'll actually be able to see them through the terrain and through buildings with a little kind
cool.
of with a shimmer effect. So it's like Jason kind of uses the different plants he finds on the island to give him some different abilities. Some help in combat, like you can make yourself kind of fireproof for a little while. Or there's like I said, there's the one that makes you I think you detect the animals' pheromones, and that allows you to see them.
What would you say is the hardest animal to kill, or most likely to kill you on the island?
It's the Komodo dragon for sure, because those guys are like, I'm pretty sure whoever designed them to be exactly the same height as the grass, because like they just appear out of nowhere. They're like I know, they're like ninjas. They just appear like out of smoke, and just and they always come in packs.
Yeah.
And they run just faster than you can run backwards. So you run backwards shooting at them, and then like 6 more appear out of the grass, and they're coming just faster than you do, and you throw a grenade and it takes out some of them, but there's always more of them. They all have backpacks that have extra Komodos in them. They always bring friends with them, and it's stressful, but the flamethrower works pretty well. To craft most of the special, like the really, really good equipment, you have to complete the hunting side missions. And the hunting side missions, like, we give you a specific weapon and we send you to a specific point to kill a very special kind of animal, like the very, very tough one. So there's one you have to kill, the red blood Komodo dragon. And this guy is super tough, and he's on a little island with like five other Komodo dragons. And I think you have to kill him with a bow and arrow. And that's super scary.
Hang gliding, I love hang gliding.
You've been hang gliding in the game?
Yes.
What? I didn't see that.
It's on the map, and you find these little hang gliding icons, and you go to them, and like these guys were chasing me, and they were shooting at me, and I ran to the hang gliding thing, and I jumped on it, and just barely made it. And like as soon as I took off the cliff, my stomach, like I'm not really hang gliding, but my stomach did that kind of like little thing, because it looked, I don't know, it was so weird, but it felt like I was really like up high, and it was like, oh, it gave me like a little start when I jumped off the cliff. But it was so cool. You just fly, like you can fly forever. It's awesome.
What kind of vehicles are there in the game?
So we talked about the glider, which is really cool to fly around at height, but we have a lot of roads, and a lot of times you have to get around quickly on the ground. So we have a bunch of different cars. We have a bunch of different trucks, 4x4s, and you get different variations with different weapons on them. So when you find a good 4x4 with a good mounted weapon on the back, you want to try and hold on to it for a while. It's going to come in useful. If you have enough weapon slots, you can get the weapon repair tool. So if you do get into trouble and you take some damage, you're going to be able to repair the vehicle and keep, hold on to it for a while. We have a lot of different boats. A jet ski, which is pretty cool. We have some jet ski races, which are pretty fun. But my favorite is probably the ATV. It's super fast, and you can really take it off road and have some fun in the jungle with it. And it's actually pretty robust. I've like flown it off the side of mountains and still managed to survive.
And there's also speedboats. I like the speedboats too.
Yes, the boats are cool, but it's the boats are useful if you want to hunt sharks. Some people like to hunt sharks with an RPG because it's, I guess, it's safest. So you'll see people who they'll take a speedboat, they'll go out into the ocean, and you'll just see you'll just see them standing there with an RPG, like looking around, waiting for a shark to show up.
That's brilliant. That's how I'm gonna do it from now on.
Where does Far Cry 3 take place? Like, is this a real island that's found in the real world, or is it based on an island that we have here?
It's not a real it's a good job it isn't a real place because that would be a scary world we live in. It's based on real islands in that we wanted to create a world that felt realistic, that felt believable, so people could really get immersed in the fantasy of being on this remote tropical island. But it's not actually a real place. It's not based on any real locations. It's just we used a lot of reference to figure out the kind of the mountains and the landscape, the topography of islands, kind of in the kind of Indian Ocean kind of area. It's like Micronesia. It's a little bit influenced by Hawaii and those kind of places, but it's not any one place specifically.
Okay, and on the stream right now, we're seeing like this kind of odd view. What are we looking at, and what purpose does it serve?
So right now, Max is using the camera to scout another outpost. So what he's doing is the camera is it's like a long range tactical tool, and again it's another mechanic that was part of Far Cry 1 and part of Far Cry 2. So we brought it back for 3 and gave it a little bit extra juice. So you can tag enemies. So you can see now that we can actually see the silhouettes of the pirates through the objects.
Yeah.
So this like Max now he's like swimming up towards the pirates. He can take a very, very stealthy approach. He knows where everybody is, and he also knows the different kind of enemies. So the different icons above the head, they tell you whether it's a sniper or whether it's a close range unit or a mid range unit. So that it really, like if you want to invest the time and really scout an area, you can get a really good understanding of how you can approach it tactically and use the different tools that you have to take it down.
What other side missions are there besides hunting?
There are, as well as hunting, we have the supply drops, which we already talked about, where you have to deliver medicinal packages to the locals. We also have the wanted dead quests, which are my personal favorite. These are every time you unlock an outpost, you unlock a wanted quest and a hunting quest. And the wanted quests are basically assassination missions that on the surface sound pretty simple. You just have to go and kill one guy. But because of the Rakyat tradition, who are the local tribe, the guys that they want you to kill they've offended them like deeply on some level. So the kill is really it's a vengeance kill, and they want you to do it with a knife. So that's the kind of the challenge.
So if you have to take them down with a knife, is it okay if they know? Like if for some reason you get caught and then everyone starts shooting at you, can you still take down everyone else and then go after your primary target with a knife, or is it like a wipe after or a wash after that, and you can't take them down?
No, it's completely open because it's part of the open world. It isn't scripted. It isn't linear. It's all about just you choose however you want to. If you really wanted to, you could, if you had the death from above skill, because all of the takedowns count as a knife kill, and we have a bunch of cool different takedowns that you can buy from the skill tree. So you could actually find a glider, fly over the top of the wanted quest, and then jump off the glider at the right moment, and then land on the VIP and kill him with a death from above. And then you could just disappear into the jungle again, and you would complete the mission. You can leave the other guys alive; it doesn't matter.
See, that is so badass. That's badass.
Would you get more experience points for that mission if you like do one of the hardest takedowns and successfully complete the mission?
Yeah, but it's not specific to that quest, but you do. So you get like a bunch of XP for every kill that you make. But if you do a headshot with a gun, for example, or if you do a takedown, you'll get a bonus. And yeah, if you do a death from above, you get a bonus. If you do a double death from above, you get a huge bonus. And all of the different special takedowns, they all give you extra XP.